share the video. Thank you. So tonight we are going to be interviewing a doctor, and the story he has to tell is quite an interesting story. After we interview him, we're going to be interviewing members of the Truckers Association who are ready to go and who are ready to take action. And they are fed up. Small contractors are livid with government's actions to take food out of Trinbagonians' mouths and put it in Chinese workers' mouths. Now, a fellow messaged me today and he said, the video you did this evening, you said you wanted to send all the Venezuelans home. And all the Venezuelans I've interacted with are nice people. I tell him, brother, the Chinese are nice people. The Venezuelans are nice people. The Nigerians are nice people. The illegal Syrians are nice people. They are all nice people. This is not about niceness. This is about the country cannot carry the additional burden right now, one, of subsidizing the cost of the social management of extra people, Chinese, Nigerians, Venezuelans, Syrians, and any other group of illegal immigrants and people who have overstayed their welcome. And I need to say it like that, and I don't want you to take it wrong. The government's job is jobs. The government's first job is jobs. If you can't make sure that the entire country gainfully employed, your first target is an unemployment rate of 0.0. And if you can't do that, and you can't come close to that, you can't be inviting other people. You can't be bringing guests to sleep over in the house if you can't feed the people who live in the house now. You can't. You cannot. And you don't have the authority to do it. You don't have the authority to do it. I need to make a call.
The unit you're attempting to reach is either switched off or out of the service area. This is a recording.
This is the number I have for the Wings of Care nursing home. Now, the message that was sent to me is Wings of Care nursing home in Chaguanas. All persons vaccinated with Sinopharm. All nurses tested positive for COVID-19. 7 patients tested positive. 5 died. 2 in serious condition. Now, that's a big allegation to make. So I'm trying to get on to the Wings of Care nursing home in Chaguanas. If anybody has a number, especially a cell phone number for somebody in charge at Wings of Care nursing home, I'd like to verify if that in fact did take place. Now the government is doing a piss poor job at managing our COVID-19. My brother, who is an internationally renowned COVID expert, said that when you take the first vaccine, it suppresses your immune system and makes you more susceptible and far more likely to contract COVID-19. So that if you go to take any of the vaccines, immediately quarantine yourself. And you're quarantining yourself to protect yourself. Because the average person's immune system the average person's immune system will beat COVID-19. It is a suppressed COVID. It's a suppressed immune system, a compromised immune system due to comorbidities or obesity or other things that allows COVID-19 to get a foothold. So the government is not telling you, I'm telling those of you who have opted to go and get a vaccine, when you get the vaccine, quarantine yourself. And again, they must know this. And they seem to be running a deliberate shit show. It seems to me that it is important, I've said this, the government is doing well with spikes in COVID-19. They don't seem to want it to come down. 17 deaths today, 129 cases. Where we going, friends? Where we going? As awaiting on Satish, Kendall Baggy, any of the usual suspects who could help me get a phone number for that nursing home. Today, Maxi Coffee jumped out himself to come on my WhatsApp to attack me for my position. And I had to tell Maxi, brother, right now, make your peace with God. That is all you're supposed to be concerned about. Don't forget, Maxi, that your partner Rowley thief money from the treasury to pay a medical bill for you that you're not entitled to get, and he did not have the authority to take. This is a democracy. This is a country ruled by law. But they're going to do what the asshole they want. So Rowley could have picked up a 3 million, like he put it there. For the last 31 years, he working tax-free. But like he put money there, pick up a 3 million and spend it on you. You couldn't go in the best healthcare in the world. You couldn't go Mount Hope. You couldn't go San Fernando. God forbid you went General Hospital in the best healthcare in the world. No, the taxpayers. You know what? I'm calling you. The taxpayers pick up that bill. The same taxpayers who had to take jamming in these shit hospitals. You good? You're live, eh? So be careful what you're saying. You have you on a live video right now to follow up what the message you sent me about Wings of Care.
Yes.
Now I call our number that I got for Wings of Care, a 6650323.
665.
I'm not getting through to nobody. Nobody answering. And I want verification of those numbers that you gave me, that everybody vaccinated and all the nurses COVID-19 and 5 people dead and 2 in serious condition. You have that information firsthand?
Yeah, firsthand.
Now you said your dad was at that nursing home and he died but from something else.
Yes, he died of sepsis.
Please accept my condolences.
Thank you.
So that's what you and I are going to do, right? You're going to track down a way for me to verify this information to put it in the public space, okay? And if you could do that within the next hour, even better. All right?
All right.
Cool, later.
But what is happening is that because of a potential embarrassment to the government, they will try and keep this as hush as possible because remember, these people were vaccinated and they still come and get COVID.
Well, I was just trying to explain to the audience that my brother, who is an international COVID expert, he told Trinidad and Tobago that when you get your first and your second vaccination, it suppresses your immune system and makes you more susceptible to COVID-19.
That is correct.
But the government is not telling people that and is not causing people to quarantine themselves. So people are putting themselves at risk of contracting serious COVID-19 and dying.
Yes.
All right, so...
And then the efficacy of the Sinopharm is also questionable.
Well, nobody wants... No, Canada and America are not even acknowledging that Sinopharm exists. So you could tell them you inject yourself with M&Ms. Rather than Sinopharm, you might get in quicker. Here what to do for me? track down some of this information for me because I want to speak to somebody at this place to get some verification, okay?
Okay.
Thanks a lot for reaching out.
Okay, take care.
If you have serious information, you want to bring it, WhatsApp me, 682-2110. Don't pick up the phone and call me and say, Phil, I want to tell you, but I can't type it because they monitoring. But they're monitoring voice more. They listen to everything I say. So if you're calling me, I got a number here. Let me see if this is truly a number for this.
Your call has been forwarded to B-Mobile Voice Messaging Center.
Everybody in the organization running for the hills. No problem at all. No problem at all. I see Rhoda Barades get quarter my numbers and then somebody send me a picture. Her videos are sponsored. That means she's get quarter my numbers, but she pays Facebook. So somebody's sponsoring her videos. These numbers, and our numbers low right now. Our numbers suppressed. We're dealing with it. We're tolerating it. Even, I want to share some numbers, but I know I'm pissing them off because we normally get 2.2, 2.5 million interactions a month. We're down to 1.6 million. That's more than Keith and Kamala combined. It's pissing them off. So, Trinidadians have woken up and they are waking up to the truth. I'm going to make a call now. All of these people are supposed to be expecting my calls.
Hello?
Good evening, Dr. Prasad.
Yes.
Philip Edward Alexander, good evening. How are you?
Very well, thank you. How are you?
Trying to keep smiling, exhausted. You're live with me right now. So,
Okay.
so I want you to speak clearly and I want you to speak loudly and I want you to tell the story that you told me today.
I had a patient this week at my clinic, and I sent them to get some tests done in order to determine, the cause and blah, blah, blah. The results came back, and I was a little bit concerned because what I asked for, I got, but at the bottom of the report by the health authority says COVID positive. So I looked at and it's a police officer. So I said to the police officer, I said, do you know you have COVID? She said, no, nobody told me anything at all. I said, weren't you swabbed or anything? I said, how did they put COVID positive here? She said, well, I don't have any COVID. They told me nothing. And my concern is this same police officers, I told her, if this is true, you need to go and get quarantined. Or you need to do something about this. And she assured me that she doesn't have COVID. My issue doesn't stop there. My issue stops that this person is going to go back to her duties and touch other citizens of this country.
But I want to ask you a question before you go further. Are you in any way certain of if she does or does not have COVID-19?
Well, when I spoke with her on Friday, she's supposed to see me tomorrow. Because I told her that as far as the result is concerned, she has COVID. And she said to me, they will not, wait a second, she said to me that that's the only way it can be released. I said, what do you mean only way it can be released? Because I said, you sure you never had a COVID test? She said, no. I said, a PCR response? She said, no, nothing. But they said, before I can get the report, that has to go on the report, and I found that very strange.
I find that very strange myself. I don't understand what that exactly means, and I would like to hear more. So when you see her tomorrow, you'll be in a position...
Sorry, go ahead.
You have rapid tests. You're in a position to tell if she has COVID?
Yes, I actually said to her, let me do a test on you now. And unfortunately, I thought we had some more in the kits and we did not. I said I would like you to have a rapid test done at least to see what is going on.
So you'll be in a position to rapid test tomorrow?
Hopefully I'll get the answers tomorrow because that concerns me very much, Philip.
Okay, so here what you and I are going to do, right? You're going to follow up with this with me, and with the further information you get tomorrow, we're going to have another one of these conversations, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, my friend. Stay strong. Keep doing the work you're doing.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right, so there's a doctor who owns a clinic. Check what's going on. A police officer, WPC, a woman police officer, I don't know if it's a woman police constable, a WP, a woman police officer presented herself to him as a patient. He sent her for tests for certain things, and her test came back, and included and added to the test was COVID positive. The people who did the testing didn't tell her she was tested for COVID. She doesn't believe she was tested for COVID. But what's more important is that they handed someone a COVID positive result and didn't tell them. So that person, if they are positive and did not know, even though they might be observing social distancing and all the other dramas, they still putting others at risk, family members, what have you. And because you know your family, you're masking up in your house, everybody, you know. So anyway, there are a lot to get through tonight before I actually start my show. So all of these conversations I want you to pay attention to. The taxi drivers going on strike this week. So make arrangements. Those of you, especially those of you who are involved in any kind of essential service and have to be at work, make sure you find out where your transportation arrangements are going to be beforehand. This is going to be a funny week for transport.
Hello?
Hey, good evening. Philip Alexander here, and you're live.
This is a good night, sir.
Right, so you said to me that the truckers are in a position where they want to take action.
Well, actually, what we want to do, we want to get together to actually make a stand for us, because everybody basically suffering as it is right now. The whole construction sector.
It is indeed. And the whole construction sector needs to make a proper protest and a presentation to the government, because they've opened the construction sector but not the Trinidad construction.
Correct is right.
So at this juncture, because I know I'm supposed to get in touch with the head of your association, I just thought I'd speak to you first. At this juncture, have plans been made? Do you all have work now?
We have no work, Mr. Alexander. It's 3 months and change. I'm speaking right now on behalf of our work right now. I am the one getting kicked out right now because we have no income.
All right, the construction sector needs to go before the courts. The government's actions are heavy-handed. I do not believe that they have the authority to hire foreigners and leave locals on the breadline. So what I want to do is I want to get all of you truckers signed up on the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. So I want you to reach out to Satish. I'm going to give your number to Satish, and he's going to call you. I'm going to get all of you all under the Citizens Union umbrella so we could start dealing with attorneys and try to take this matter before a court. We're already in conversation with the independent contractors and the small contractors. So it's time to organize everybody and to present ourselves to the state as stakeholders and shareholders in Trinidad and Tobago and to go to our courts. Yeah?
You agree?
Yeah. So as of this point, I can't recommend any kind of physical protest. They know why they have a state of emergency. It infringes on your rights and your civil liberties, and they could take draconian measures to protect their agenda. So right now, our best way forward is to make sure that everything that we're doing is public and that we take it before the courts of the land. And because knowing that there are other ways, other courts outside of Trinidad and Tobago courts, and this is a matter that the world needs to hear more about, what is being done in Trinidad and Tobago by China. Because I know, and when I say this, this is the issue. People not realizing that China is now manipulating what we thought was our democratically elected government to their benefit, not ours. And we have We have to take some serious concern where that is concerned. So when I come off this live video tonight, I'm going to give you a number to Satish. Satish will be in touch with you. And if you could organize a meeting with the leadership so we can get all your members signed up, that's the best first step that we could take, okay?
Thank you so much, Mr. Alexander.
All righty. Thanks for reaching out.
All right.
Anybody else? If you're a member of the construction sector, if you're a mason, a carpenter, a painter, a hustler, a laborer, if you're in gypsum, sealing, PVC sealing, tiles, roofing, lighting, electrical, plumbing, if you're a hardware, if you're involved in any part upstream, downstream of the construction sector, and you would like to be part of this action we're about to take, because we intend to do something similar to a class action lawsuit. We don't really have that in Trinidad. So we have to take the state to court 1,000 times. Yeah? So, and to those of you who wonder why we always asking for financial assistance, it is for things like this. And Trinidad and Tobago, what took place yesterday was as an abuse of power. The government does not have the power to sideline Trinbagonians and let foreigners. You see, China is not giving us these projects for free. Coleman Burt and this squad in the PNM have taken loans that you have to pay. So it's a double jeopardy, is adding insult to injury. Not only will they not allow Trinidadians to work on the site, which is the justification for taking loans for infrastructural development, because that's the only reason why you deficit finance infrastructural development is to create jobs. But if what we're doing is creating jobs for China, I think we've lost the plot. We've lost the whole plot. And Trinidad and Tobago needs to wake up to what this government is doing. My number is 682-2110. Tonight I am taking calls. I am taking your WhatsApps. I'll read your WhatsApps. You'll let me know if to call your name or not. And we're in a bad place. We're in a bad place. If it's one thing, Kendall Baggy, when he starts to search a thing, boy, he's finding everybody and their shoe size. All right, Kendall, we have it down to this point. What I need is some phone numbers for this information that you're giving me. All right, let me get down to this quick. And I want to say this again for the cheap seats. Do not use terms like revolution. Do not use terms like coup. Do not use violent terms to me. I'll tell you why. If Trinidad could only have its problems solved by violence, I out. I am out. I have no interest in becoming what I am contemptuous of. I have said this before. If it has to become that, I out. My commitment to my country is strong. But I believe that we've failed in our responsibilities as citizens. And instead of going from failure to violence, there are some steps we could take in the middle. And those steps include unity, protest, sacrifice, stand-ins, sit-downs, stay homes. There are a lot of ways that you could impact and influence the national narrative in volume. The 128,500 people who went out of their way to physically sign the Andrea Barrett petition, rocked the government, rocked the parliament. They didn't know what to do with that. They didn't know what to do with that narrative. Rowley's still talking shit about it. He's still throwing a tantrum about it. He's still vexed about it. That such a large portion of the population willing to tell him, brother, you're on shit. That you're making a mess. That you're there 6 years now. And that the country is in a crap hole. The government's first job is jobs. You don't understand that? Step away from the video. We don't need everybody. If you incapable of basic understanding. I want to tell you this. Your ability to provide for yourself and your family is the most important thing that you do every day when you wake up. If you're independently wealthy and you can get up at the crack of noon and scratch your ass, by all means, scratch away. But for the rest of the people in the country, being able to provide for themselves and their families a roof over their heads and meals on the table, medicine in case of emergency, those things, education support, those things are the most critical and important thing to a society. Jobs is job one. So, and when we were running for government as the Progressive Empowerment Party, we said anybody who wants a job can have one. Anyone who has a job and wants a home should be able to afford one. That's the dovetail. That's when you begin to knit the society together. Then you start talking about education that works and public health and social development master plans and financial opportunities that gives the people further ways and means to develop themselves and maximize their full potential. But you still have to come to the first thing. Jobs is job one. If you look at all of the top countries in the world, they measure their success rates by their unemployment and by their investment portfolio on a national level, what the average person is worth in savings. We have a practically zero savings rate in Trinidad. People don't trust the banks. The government had to stunt and con you with a change of blue notes nonsense to track down a Bodie farmer and a pastor that was doing all the money laundering in this cocaine cartel run narcotics pipeline. But again, we take all that shit because, you know, that's the immediate job. The immediate job is they talk shit, we feed the shit to you. I like what Paulo Kernahan said today. To that journalist who the Prime Minister said, you stop that shit right now. That's your father. Go and get a DNA test because he owing your paternity, brother. That's your father. You should have told me that. Rowley, boy, listen, Listen. The night is run till they catch it, you know. They're going to continue to abuse office until we stop it. And we're going to stop it with the tip of our finger. We're going to stop it with our vote. And we're going to make that happen. And yes, we could wait 5 years for the election, or we could just stop doing anything and everything that makes the country functional. And maybe they hand it over to China and Venezuela. Maybe that's the plan. I don't know. But then accelerate the program so that we do know. Because you don't want to end up in a country where there is no jobs for you, there's no employment for you, there's no social development support for you, there's no hampers for you, there are no grants for you. Construction workers out of work 3 months now, and you're now publishing something in the paper to fill out a form to take a next month to hand them 2 bags of cassava. Miss me with your bullshit. You failed the nation. You failed it. And then, of course, we have the Yellow Jacket Squad on the other side, hastily doing fat all. Because, I mean, give Jack his jacket and Jim his Jimbo's. Rowley was thirsty for office. Kamala's been there, done that. She's just happy to be drawing that $1.4 million salary a year. So she don't have to really misbehave and get on. She good. She have it nice. Rowley was marching up and down. He had the OWTU, they stopped drilling oil. Everything the OWTU was about was marching. All the interconnected, interlocking versions, MSJ, OWTU, Roger Abdullah, taxpayers pay them to march for PNM. Taxpayers pay their salaries for them to march for the PNM. But Kamala and them know what they has to do. They're clueless, and they don't know that they're clueless. The last politician standing in the UNC is Rudal Molila, and you can see he fed up. Because every time he speaks like a lone voice in a pack of people who are practical nowhereans. Nobody know what they're doing. None. And that's your opposition. So, of course, your government running amok. Strong fences make good neighbors. UNC people want to tell me the EBC, the EBC, the EBC. I want to tell those UNC people, do you know that Kamala had the largest special majority after the NAR? And she could have changed the EBC. She could have changed the name of the EBC. She could have changed the way elections was done permanently. She could have root out and move all of the PNM operatives that want to tell you EBC, EBC, EBC. So mess me with that. It's not the EBC that beat us, or beat them, or put PNM in office. It is a failure of the opposition to make themselves credible to their 510,000 members. But anyway, I don't want to get caught up in that again tonight. The country is what it is because of the vote. It's because of what we've done. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, the wake-up call is not to say, everybody else do something, I want to hold my corner. Your corner weighing everybody else down. We all have to stand together. We all have to want a better country. And we all have to look for better. The PNM-UNC game has been done. By now, you must know it doesn't work. It does not work. Don't look just for office sake. Look to put people in office who could get the job done and make lives better for you and your family. That's the purpose of government, the wellness of the people. To make sure that the people, the well-being of the entire society is taken care of. Jobs is job one, the ability to own a home. Bank workers who sit with you and give you talk about mortgage, home mortgage, they can't buy no house. They can't buy no house. Our mortgage rates bordering on being rapacious. You take a loan with the average bank to buy a house for $2 million. And for 20 years, that loan running, for the first 10 years, you only paying the interest. All of the principal still standing, still watching you in your face. That means that the day you default, like the poor fella in Pity Valley who gets sick in Chumamonka, the bank come and throw, after he spent all that money fixing up that house and all them years he pay, they come and throw he and all his shit in the road. Them personal partners business. You're voting for that. Because the Minister of Finance has the say over the terms and the conditions the bank operates. It's not as independent as they would let you believe. It's a license to operate, and that license to operate must have specifications and stipulations that protect the depositor first. It must protect the economy. The bank is a service provider. There are 1 million banks in the world. We don't need these 3 shit banks. There are 1 million banks in the world. Bigger, better, more funded banks. Trinidad is a dot. 26 branch. 26 branch. There are banks in America have 26 branch in one borough in New York City. The Minister of Finance job is to maintain and steward the financial sector, the economy, and banks play a part in that. And if you're going to make it so that people have to use the banks, then make it so that it is affordable and feasible for that. But what we have going on here is a depleting balance. The banks are charging you warehousing fees to own and operate a bank account and then depleting your account every month and giving you practically 0% interest, but lending out your money and charging 15 and 16%. And if the bank go out of business tomorrow, you're getting back 25 cents on a dollar. So you're losing all the way around. And like the National Insurance Board, where the Ministry of Finance made it law that all of these people had to pay every month, all of these fixed income earners had to pay a percentage of their salaries and their wages to the National Insurance Board dutifully every week, every fortnight, every month. And now that it is time for the National Insurance Board to keep their side of the bargain, this Minister of Finance is trying to con the people and tell them, well, the pyramid flipped and it flopped. There's nothing to pay you. That's time for court. One time, sue the Minister of Finance. Sue him. Every single National Insurance Board customer, sue the Minister of Finance for your money. Don't take this bullshit. Move the retirement age, partner. You can't change where the goalpost is if you don't like the game. This is the terms and the conditions that you made. We signed on the dotted line, and you have a responsibility to honor these people. But all the money gone, all the money thief out. So they can't even find the money that the people put there. They couldn't even put it in a bank account and just get some normal interest on it. You're getting less than what you deposit. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. And the people of Trinidad and Tobago have to stop lying down and taking it. And that's why there's a Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. And if you join in significant numbers, we will unionize the population. And that's the plan. That you will have a collective voice. The strength of the wolf is the pack, and the strength of the pack is the wolf. And you'll have a collective voice. The last thing, businesses that treating you bad don't want you to have a collective voice. You've seen it. You've seen the power of your collective voice. You've seen Hilo hush their mouth and went and put back Ramsar and Peanut Punch on the shelf. Social media posts are not to do the people business. Don't tell me this family or related to that family. That's bullshit. You can't let Lockjack come and buy out Queen's Park Oval and expect people to come and watch cricket and football, and we can't buy nuts from Jumbo because Lockjack and Sunshine Snacks buy all out? No, and we show you all that again. That had to change too. And it changed so fast and it changed so bad. They beg Jumbo to come and tell me, I told you, it's settled. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. We good. They're treating Jumbo nice. That's the power of the people. The power of the people. It's the power of the people send them into the parliament to write that pepper spray law. You think they wanted to do that 14 years now? They hemming and they hawing. Now they stand up there and pretending that the government always had it as a plan. You always had it as a plan? When you was going to pass it? In 19, oh God? How long does it take? How long did it take? Give us the timeline. What priority? Where did it fall? In the order of things that you thought that were important, our women being able to protect and safeguard themselves. Where did it fall? Where? In front or behind the $5 billion that being spent importing food while our fertile agriculture land growing razor grass and financing housing projects and gas station and strip mall. The irony is all them mall now had to close down. You build a set of strip mall on fertile land, South Park and Price Plaza and all of these things. That's Caroni land. That's land to be growing food. We growing plaza. In a world where there's a retail apocalypse, we're opening more store than anybody else in the world. This shithole of a country. Mall after mall after mall. I was saying before COVID-19, if they continue building mall in Chaguanas, the speed they was building mall heading north, just now you ought to be able to walk from Chaguanas to Port of Spain in malls, in air-conditioned comfort. One mall to the next. That's fertile food-bearing land. We occupy 10% of the country. The rest of the country could be growing food to feed the people and save us that $5 billion that enriching financiers and making empire men, barons and lords of people who just press some money into politicians' hands at election time and say, just don't grow nothing. Ask Kamala. Ask Kamala who used to bundle Bodhi and Baji. What they grow? What they grow, the whole country right now, if the UNC had come into office, like Clarence Rambarat and I was talking, Clarence is the Minister of Agriculture now, Clarence and I was talking about ways when the UNC was in office, you see all these people, that is so good, boy, they're so good. They just talk such a good game on the other side in office, and Clarence talking, I will organize 1 million trees, Philip, you organize the labor, we will plant it, and the people will eat for free. Clarence said they're 6 years now whining on police car. You plant a breadfruit tree yet, brother? 5 years, the country right now would be reaping mango, avocado, guava, soursop, breadfruit, feeding the nation a food basket. No matter what going on, COVID-19, COVID-20, COVID-21, that is stopping food from growing. We'd have food to feed the people, but no, we can't do that. Hadco and Amco and Massey have a money to make, money how to make. So to ask for the people of the country, Chinese contractors how to make money how to make. To ask for the people of the country. $500 million to build a $20 million overpass that nobody need, nobody want, nobody asks for. Money how to make. Thief it out however you could. Money how to make. And we sit down with our hands in our lap asking what to go, where to go, what to do, who to talk to. You always knew all the time you was voting for shit. You always knew you was closing one eye. You knew everything was bribe, everything was a con, everything was broken, nothing worked, you had no water in your pipe. Every now and then your pipe rumble and some rusty water come out and you want to celebrate and dance because you could mop your floor with brown water. The country is a shithole. The whole of Port of Spain, the capital of this country, flushing the toilet into latrine and soak away. The country is a literal shithole. PNM sponsored in Balize House. When you go in Balize House, if you shit in a toilet in Balize House, you're flushing it into a soakaway. Go and ask Rowley. And they're building 5-story building. For what? To lord it over people. Jackass. Jackass. Putting people in positions of power to silence people. But you could kiss my half-red ass tonight. My country is broken by deliberate design, while some dirty, incompetent sons of bitches use offices of state to facilitate the looting of my country. And the and the dumbing down of the people. The poor PNM people, grandchildren of Africa, that you send them to shit schools to come out knowing, what Father Eric was the father of the nation. Father abuse you. Father of the nation abuse you and abandon you. That is the kind of father he was, absentee father, like Rowley for the two boys. Absentee father, that's all the PNM know. They put picture of Faris children with guns in Kamutu. I ain't know who children that is. Stuart Young, when your stepdaughter get hold with drugs, she ain't my stepdaughter anymore. PNM have a problem with the children. They don't know how to claim it. But quick to tell you, father of the nation, educating them left foot, right foot bullshit. Left foot in your ass. Right foot in your ass. Sign with a PNM pen. Sign when courts come to repossess the shit that you bought from courts. Overpriced shit that you bought. Sign that with a PNM pen. A man selling the galvanize on his roof to put food on the table for his children. The wolf has arrived at everyone's door. This is what I told you all were coming. People say, boy Phil, boy, have a crystal ball. I tell them we will line up for food in this country. They're done yet. They're done yet. Wait a minute. Wait until you see them food supply gravy trains start to get interrupted and they start, and you're going outside Hilo and Westbees and True Value and they're telling you only people with US shopping today. Today's US shopping day. Think it bad now? And we're sitting down and we're talking shit. And we're looking up to the sky. And we're praying to all the gods. Father in heaven, please deliver us from the consequences of our vote. That is what free will is about. We wind your neck down to the ground, press your face all in the gravel. You hang on to the side of the truck in the election, in the caravan. You're winding up on one another. No? Where the wine? Where the wine? It's nothing for we, Jed. Where the wine today? To the PNM and the UNC supporters. The UNC supporters who are accustomed to at least having some intelligent and educated people speaking on their behalf. Yes, it's a corrupt society, so yes, all, not one could tell you clean hands and pure heart. Not one, but it can get worse. So tell me now, what you plan to do now? Sit on Facebook and talk shit about revolution. Revolution? Tell all you, if all you ain't committed enough to the country to just stand together in unity, you think you're going outside there for revolution? You think you want to watch police in their face when they're coming to share Butu? Not this, anyway. Oh, I'm loving this talk here, but I had to hit the bed, so we're going to have a chat soon. Our views are the exact same. Stay strong. You have my 100% support. If that's true, join the Citizens Union. And if you're in a position to make a financial donation, the other night I said that, and a man called Felicia and handed $5,000. I want to call his name. I don't know if I'm allowed to. Well done, brother. Thank you for that. Somebody tell me the PCR tests have been recalled. I don't know. Only have 90% of my WhatsApp full with people sticking magnet on their vaccination. I don't watch that shit. I don't take that on. I'm interested in that crap. I want to know if it works, how it works, when it works, why it works. How do you treat it and deal with it? Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hey, Stephen, good night, Philip.
Yep.
Philip?
Yes, good night, you're live.
Yes, good night. I've been calling you a little while, boy, and I you're making a sad kind of sense. You're making a real sad kind of sense.
What's sad is that this basic common sense has been lacking in the country for 58 years. That is what's sad. But what I'm talking about is not any rocket science. It's time for us to stand up together.
You make a suggestion tonight, and we have to bring some international view into this situation in this country.
But we can't take a step forward until we're united. Who making the call? People will send me all kind of messages. Philip, we gotta fix this. Philip, we gotta deal with that. The we means Philip, you. Listen, there was Citizens Union. CitizensUnionTT.com, CitizensUnionTT.org. Join it and send me a WhatsApp, which is Citizens Union number, so we can start to talk some more and we can bring you on board, right? Thanks for
All
calling.
right. You too.
It had to be this. Can't be any other way. Everyone was warned months ago this was going to happen. They laugh like clowns in a circus at you, bad-mouthed you. Now they're eating the fruits they sow. Thank God our family was smarter. Yeah, there are some smart families outside there. Again, to the people who send me voice notes, I do not listen to voice notes. I don't have, if you don't have the time to type it, I don't have the time to listen to it. Petrotrin pension plan to be closed. Well, look, Bacchanal. I see somebody launch a party inside the UNC called the Citizen One Foundation. Now, I want to tell you something. In 2017, we launched the Progressive Empowerment Party. Over the course of the next 6 months, everybody was progressive. Even inside the police service, when they launched a set of teams to wherever they was contesting, one of them was the progressives. Now I know imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but oh God, boy, they're walking close. Give me some space now. UNC Citizens One, boy. Come now, man, Chandra Sharma. Only have a dictionary, boy. Crack a book now, do a Google search. Say we want to form a political party. Siri, make a suggestion. Alexa, give me a suggestion for a Only walking too close up, man. I'm breathing on the back of my neck. You curl me here. Hi, good night. Need some help. This is one of the many things my husband does. You name it, he can do all his tools. But with the lockdown, well, you know how things are. We'll be happy if you help market him. Well, her husband looked like he could really build stuff. And I will have to make sure that they are aware that the Citizens Union has a tradesman list that we send out in our newsletter for our members who are tradesmen. So I will forward this to Satish, and Satish will call, I guess, and tell them how to join to make use of the service, the Citizens Union newsletter. I think it's going out by Wednesday. So those of you who call in to find out, yeah, it should be on the way. This lockdown, shutdown, shit down, make a mess of everything and delayed everything. We were printing, we had to stop half the printing because the printer couldn't print. Good night, Mr. Philip Alexander. If you see the drama and stress, they get hampers from Arima MP. Undoubted. Hi, good night, Philip. China is known internationally for this death trap agenda, this strategy. Yeah. We know that. So, and I don't want to sound when I speak like I am frustrated. I'm doing my best to hide it. I cannot believe where my country is. I have been as honest with you as I could. There are people who are outside of this country who are trying to come back home, and I don't know why. Why would you put God out your thoughts? Why? There's nothing here. There's nothing here, and it's going to get worse. And these people are going to play with you and your ability to come and go. You must be sitting down in a first world country where you could go to the airport and get on a plane and fly here. But you reach here and then you're trapped. Do not. I am Lawrence Jagannath. I own the Achievement Center Limited. We have been closed for the last 16 months. I am fed up. You can call my name. My family have no income. We are lost in debt to mortgage and the bank and personal loans. We have nowhere to turn. You can call my name. I don't give up anymore. Lawrence, I hope you're watching the video. Let me tell you, stand by. I hope you're watching the video, Lawrence. I want you to hear me say this. It may get darker before the dawn, but the sun is going to shine in this country again. It's going to shine again. Somebody messaged me, do you need a printer? That is, I have to send Satish number to him because it is Satish's sphere of this organization. Great live. I hope 500,000 follow you soon. Are you giving me? Only giving me so much information on the science of COVID and vaccines and what is the good of it? We expect me to do, come out here and blow it up too. So let's say I blow up about the vaccines and the people on CBS and the people on NBC and Candace Owens. What are you going to do about it? We've said to Trinidad and Tobago all the things that we know, all the practical truths that we know, but the main issue that's affecting our country right now, the big virus that we have is the PNM and the UNC. And until there are no vaccination for it, so until we could social distance from tribal voting, we ain't fixing nothing. We ain't fixing that. Sorry for these pauses, but some of these WhatsApps are just things that I have to forward to different members within the organization. Like people are messaging me how to become members of the business affiliate program. The business affiliate program in the Citizens Union is a list of businesses who provide goods and services to members within, like Wayne Ram, Trissa Hydro Farm. I keep using him as the example. Darren's Air Conditioning, Dr. Prasad, he has the care clinic. We have a lot of good people who, and I am going to read the entire list of businesses on as soon as Satish makes it available to me, and all of these services, the discounts that they're offering to Citizens Union members. You need a Citizens Union card to access those benefits. But like Trissa Hydro Farm, I don't know if it's every week or every 2 weeks, I get my bag of greens. And this week, he included some lovely mushrooms. You get a little surprise nearly every week, a bottle of green seasoning. This week we get a nice bag of mushrooms, and yesterday I sauteed them in garlic butter with ginger, and it went down so well. Trissa Hydro Farm, he delivers a garbage bag size bag of pak choy, about 5 different type of lettuce, butter lettuce, saive. I have never seen saive as long as the saive he delivers. The saive that they have in Hilo obviously is young saive, because his saive, the blade of the saive, the green part of the saive, is about 3 feet long. I didn't know saive grew that big. So when we making green seasoning in my house, and this week in the bag of greens, we got Spanish thyme, shadow benny, saive, and pimentos. Now, if you never had Trinidad green seasoning, those are the 4 things. You can add other stuff. Those are the 4 things. As throw in parsley and ginger. I love ginger. I love the flavor ginger in parts, and ginger is good for you. So just add ginger, parsley, garlic. And that's my seasoning. I season everything with that. But Trissa Hydro Farm, and I spoke with him this weekend, here, Saturday, and he said he still can't finish deliver to all the members who reach out to him. The business affiliates program, it works. Once you have a good business, a good service, and we're not recommending crap. We will test you and we will check you. Like I tell you people, there was this roti shop I was recommending to people. The roti was halfway decent, and then one day I get a roti from them and they didn't clean the shrimp. And I told everybody, never go there. And my voice strong. My voice strong. And if you know I buy roti from you, clean your roti. And I do myself a wickedness there because it was because I was busy that I wasn't making the run to Santa Cruz because Santa Cruz roti is so perfect and it's so beautiful and it is the best thing. And I know people tell me, brother, you put that roti shop on the map. People come from all over the world just to get a lobster roti. Sharon Sajudeen and her family at Roti Cafe between the police station and the fire station in Santa Cruz is the best roti you will ever eat in your life. Now, your mother roti might be better, but your mother not in roti business and your mother not selling roti to me. So outside of home cooked roti, Roti Cafe. And Roti Cafe is not just the best roti. I mean, it's so far ahead. I hear people, anytime somebody complain to me and say they didn't like this about Roti Cafe, I just go back and buy one just to check. Just to check. My father tell me, when I go to buy roti, right? And I can't wait for the market to open back so she could start making roti again. But when I go to buy roti, I started buy roti for 17 people. I buy 17 roti for plenty people. My mother, my father, my son, everybody getting. Everybody. All my best friends, everybody getting roti when I make any run to Santa Cruz. So I remember this time my father get a duck roti and he called me on the phone vexed. I said, what happened? He said, he vexed with this roti. So what you mean you vexed with the roti? He said, done. He said, you get vexed when it's done. You know our roti tastes good when you're vexed that it's done. Roti Cafe is the best. The roti skin like silk. You could read a newspaper through the dalpuri. Love, 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 love their roti, love. I love their roti. Beef, oh my God, their beef roti, fantastic, out of this world. But my go-to roti when I go in there is lobster, but the chicken roti, amazing. Roti Cafe is the best, 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 best. I tell Sharon, open my branch in town, save me that drive to Santa Cruz. Somebody sending me this thing about Dr. Maura Corrales in San Fernando Hospital, and it's more panic bullshit. I remember when COVID-19 had now come out, we was expecting to drop dead in the street. I'll tell you, people have died from COVID-19, and condolences to their families. But your family members have died in the main from incompetence and failure of government and our public health system. In the main. Your family members don't have to die. People should not be dying in the numbers that they are dying in this country. Something wrong. You see, it's not like I'm saying that just to be political. We have the highest deaths per million in the world. We are failing at something other people are doing better with. It doesn't have to be this bad. You will get cases, but the deaths per million need to come down tremendously. Somebody sharing. I have this picture about Trinidad Lake asphalt in a Chinese bag, and I'm going to put it out to ask. So Chinese people know how to put our picture in a bag, and we can't do that. This country is a shithole, yes. Talking to somebody who's talking to me. Satish, I'm giving you somebody number, a screenshot in this, and I'm setting it to the leadership thread. This person complaining that they're trying to get through to join and they're not getting through. So I'm sending this as a screenshot with their number. Somebody please, right now, even while alive, please, I'm sending it to the leadership thread. Please have somebody call this person right now, because every answer I give them about how to join, they say they tried that and they had difficulty. And I would like to know, because I find it hard to believe. Let me just forward this to the thread as well. A lot of people trying to sign up now to the business affiliates and the labor list. we are going to recommend people to our members to use their services when it becomes available. What is this, Rory, that you sent me about a medical center in Costa Rica? I don't know what this is. That's the only thing in the whole WhatsApp. So I'm not sure what it is you're sending me. Mr. Philip, I choose to remain anonymous. Before the SOE, my family and I was living paycheck to paycheck. Since then, my brother and I have not worked. My mother hasn't worked. My little money I had has been depleting to keep the bills paid and food on the table. I only have $200 left. After next week, God knows what's going to happen. After then, only He can provide. These messages are overwhelming me. Tomorrow, I am going to be writing the United Nations to beg for food. I said last night I was thinking about doing it. So I'm telling you all tonight. Tomorrow, I, Philip Edward Alexander, am going to be writing UNICEF, or the United Nations World Hunger Program, for food. I'm going to write Joe Biden, United States President, for food. I'm going to write the governors of all 50 states in America, begging them for food. I'm going to write Guyana and beg Guyana for food. I'm going to write Barbados and beg Barbados for food. I'm going to write Suriname and beg Suriname for food. I'm going to write Montserrat and Dominica. I'm going to write every Caribbean territory. I'm going to write England, Spain. I'm writing Portugal, Greece. I'm telling everybody our story, that the third wealthiest, I'm writing Trudeau in Canada. And I'm writing these things and I'm publishing them publicly. And then I'm going to do a video that I hope to go viral, reading all the names of all the people that I'm begging for food. And I'm asking them to ship containers of non-perishable food to Trinidad and Tobago to me, because we want to start a massive food bank and try to get food to everybody. Because last night I said, and I told my son, who harassing me because it's bothering him, and he grew up feeding people. My son grew up feeding the homeless. My son grew up every Christmas, his Christmas lunch, he in Port of Spain, feeding homeless people 28 years now. So this is what he know. So he harassing me, Dad, we have to feed people starving. And I said to him, no, son. There's the consequences of the vote. People have to come to the realization, hungry belly does make man mind clear. But I also know that we have the ability to move mountains. So this is the mountain the Citizens Union is going to move for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I am going to write every charity organization. I'm going to write Red Cross. I'm going to write Red Crescent. I'm going to write every celebrity. I'm going to write Rihanna. I'm going to write Nicki Minaj. I'm going to write Michael B. Jordan. I'm going to write every name that you could think of. I'm going to write Michael Jordan without the B. I'm going to write people and say, listen, they have people in this little country starving. I'm going to write fellas who came here and make money. I'm going to write Buju Banton. I know Buju. I used to have Buju's cell phone number in my phone before they lock him up. I'm going to write, who's this guy? Sean. You're not talking about. I'm going to write all of them. I'm going to write all of the organizations that I could think of that we could beg. Please send us some food, any amount of food. Send it to us. Buju Banton. Sean Paul. I'm going to write Sean Paul. He came here, he makes some money. I'm going to look at Marshall Montano and everybody who's ever come to Trinidad and Tobago for a carnival and make a money. I'm writing them. I'm going to write Xi Jinping or whatever his name is in China, and I'll tell him, while your people in Trinidad eating a food, my people not. Send some food. Send some food. I write in Hong Kong, I write in Taiwan, I write in Israel, I'm going to write Syria and Iraq. I'm going to sell Syria while your people here eating our food on the pavement in my country, my citizens starving. So we're going to mount a massive global beg from tomorrow. And I've seen Hadassah and Charmaine and all of them here. Charmaine and Denise and Anthony Sinanan and all of you who are already based outside. Felicia going to send you all letterheads, and she going to send you all, Sarana and you all who in the UK, Joseph, your sister, Joseph Paul, your sister, we're going to send the outline of the letter to you all, so you could just print it, sign it, and send it out to every organization. We want to bring food to Trinidad and Tobago. We're also organizing our members on the ground in the communities, North, East, Central, South Tobago, as we were doing before. So we will be able, you don't have to come to town to get it from us. As we get it, we divide it into 5 and it coming to you. I'm going to ask Avanel Hector Joseph, who is so good at feeding people all over the world when they have a crisis. I'm going to ask Avanel, if we get responses and we're going to get a mountain of food, I need you to help distribute it. Is there not a cause? Could take it. Take as much of it as you need, because I know you're feeding people too. I'm going to invite Inshan, because Inshan must give out 50,000 hampers since this COVID-19 started. I'm going to invite Stefan Rees, because I know Stefan wants to get his foot wet and his hand wet, helping people. He's sending all up when they had volcano. Stefan organized a shipload. I want to bring out Sterling Leha. Sterling is a well-connected man, and he could help us talk to businesses in Trinidad and Tobago who have things getting cobweb inside their warehouse. Open your warehouse and send it to us. We want to engage a massive feeding program in Trinidad and Tobago, and we're literally collecting and sending it out. And once we start getting responses, we're going to put out a call to all the charity organizations in Trinidad and Tobago, especially ones we've worked with in the past. If you want to help feed the people in your communities and you know what the starving, hungry are, we'll send some of that food to you. Tomorrow, we are going to start begging the world, and the headline is going to read on each letter, Trinidad is starving. Trinidad is starving. We've engaged Xi Jinping and Maduro and the rest of these asses, and they've screwed up our country, and they've screwed the minds of our politicians. So now our people are starving because we live in a shithole that have a law for everything. We have a law for if you cut your toenails in public, you have to pick it up and take it with you. But we have no law to fire shittongs in government when they can't work. And we need that law bad. We need that law bad, 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 bad. And I promise you, that is one of the things that I'm committed to getting, whether I'm in office or not. We're going to get a recall law so that if we hire you and you cannot do what you said you was going to do, we will fire you. That is important. It is critical. These... Keep yourself calm, Philip. 10:15. You've gotten more than the hour, I think. Rory answered me. And then he deleted what he sent. So I still don't know what is going on. Good night. My cousin is a dispatcher at PTSD San Fernando. Hi, good night, Mr. Philip. Can you send me the series of medications your beloved brother? Listen, there was a video. You all know that there was a video where my brother spoke about it. Go and view the video with a pen and a paper. And I told my brother that. I told him that. So when you're watching the video, you will hear me tell my brother, Trinidadians freaking lazy. So send it to me written down on a paper so I could send it out. But he didn't. So go on the video and you will hear his big mouth telling you what to take. Somebody just, I don't know what the hell. That's raw politics. All right. Good night, Philip. What's happening in this country is a hijacking by this government. Just imagine that Donna Cox is saying that all people are greedy, shaking my head. This government, Philip, the sad thing is that we had an opportunity to vote this government out and the people did not come out. How are we to move forward as a nation when we have a voting system and corruption in the EBC? Same shit I tell all you know. Corruption in the EBC. 1.4 million all in the road. Walk with your ballot in your hand. We don't need the EBC. This is your country. This is your country. The bullshit-tocracy ends when the shit talk and the keyboard warriorness end. You will have an opportunity. The state of emergency must stop. I will be walking in town. Come and walk. You have a constitutional right. Come and walk. Come and inspect what they spend your $500 million on the Red House. I love that you're going to ask the US for food because I've been waiting for our food bank, New York City, to speak with all I know. Here is so much food distribution every day. We have so much that some people won't even accept when offered. Excellent move. I was even thinking of offering to buy at a lower cost shower pantry, but I won't to tell persons trying to left me without. I'm happy you're writing to the president. God bless you. All right, so Anne, get on board and help us with this initiative. Reach out to Felicia. To the 500 people, the 1,000 people who were lined up outside South Park for Rahal stunt, message us 486-CUTT, 471-CUTT. Just send a message with your name, your address, your phone number, and say, I need a hamper. Good night, Mr. Alexander. Something I want to bring to you is concerning the county land between Palmis and Caparo, Central Trinidad. The government had made an orchard with those lands, which created jobs for people from Palmis to Tabakit. Now that orchard is abandoned and building falling apart, and they're talking about agriculture. But Mr. Philip, why did the Prime Minister come on national television Saturday and talk about the government construction is to continue and not other construction? Or is it that you brought it to their attention? Pay attention, Che. Pay attention. My friend lives in California, USA, and he's a Trini. Can he join your union? Absolutely. Let me say this again so that you're clear about this. If you are a Trinbagonian, orbiting Earth in the space station, you could join the Citizens Union. Once you're a Trinbagonian anywhere in the world, you could join the Citizens Union and be part of this. Now, if you're not a Trinbagonian, but you live in Trinidad and Tobago, and this is where you're living, you can also join the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. Here, we're representing the citizens and the residents and all of the people who have any connection to, once you're a legal resident of Trinidad and Tobago, I should say. Now, anyway, I can't touch on everything one time, so I can't talk about that. To all of my foreign followers, and you know it's a lot of you all, you heard what I just said about the food. Felicia Holder has point on this as usual. Her number is 769-4590. Most of you have that. Our Satish will put up email address and everything for this, but I think it's info@citizensuniontt.com, but Satish or Joseph Richpaul will put it up. All right, Rory, you're insisting on this. So, Dr. Centro Medico Mora Corrales is from Costa Rica. So, I know that my people, thank you, Rory, this thing, Dr. Mora Corrales from San Fernando Hospital, is not a Trinidad thing. So, stop sharing it. Yeah? What else? Somebody's bringing breadfruit for me tomorrow. I can't wait. Don't share me shit they're talking about overthrow. I'm not in that. We are about vote. We are about law-abiding, lawful. I'll tell you why. Because a long time ago, in a land far, far away, your boy was a saga boy. And I take away a girl from a man. and I thought I was in love. And then a next man take away that girl from me and cause me to have heartbreak. And my mother said to me, never build your happiness on somebody else's tears. And I have recorded that for perpetuity. But there's something else. How you get it is how you lose it. And I don't want to encourage Trinbagonians into political violence because that never ends. I want us to grow and mature as a nation. We need to reform the Constitution and amend it to include recall. Recall will give you the right to trigger a recall of your parliamentarian without pelting a stone and lighting no China bottle on fire. Stop looking for those things to do. Start thinking of ways. And to the UNC people, all you lazy, that UNC group that just sent me that, are going to block you. That is lazy politicking. Stop wiling up your little bit of followers. Start to talk to people about all of us in Trinidad and Tobago rowing in the same direction. I am ashamed of some of what passes for politics in this country. Ain't it just a coincidence indeed? Or you like the wild up thing in truth, eh? This is bullshit. The government only opening the borders to let in the Chinese. The government let in Delcy and the drug lords. You think they need your permission to open borders to let in the Chinese? Well, stop making memes and sharing shit now. Satish, your WhatsApp group thing have plenty people messaging me. So be a little clearer in that call out you have on top of the videos that they're not to WhatsApp me. Put your number there. I joined the Citizens Union since April, but haven't gotten my Citizens Union card as yet. There's a reason. April 30th, when they shut the country down, the people that print the cards can't print no more. So we're waiting on the market to open back up, and anybody who joined in April would have been going into the print run at the end of April, because who joined in May would go into the print run at the end of May. But the country shut down since, and our printry that we deal with can't print the cards. They have our stock of Citizens Union cards, and we can't get the cards, and we can't get the cards printed. So that's why you don't have a card as yet, but you have a number. You have a Citizens Union number, and Sean Sunarine and the team that you're dealing with could tell you how to use your Citizens Union number, and the people that you're dealing with will tell us. Somebody say, give us a tabanka last night. I was like, leaving us at the altar. Glad to see you back and sprinting. We are with you, my brother. Keep the faith, but I needn't tell you that. I told Satish today, I said, there are some days, if I'm not in the mood to do a video, even if we advertise it and I'm not in the mood, I need to take a break because I'm pushing myself harder. You all see that, and I know that you do. I'm giving my all. I want to peaceful gathering. We are raising our voice. We have nothing loud to say. No, hell no, Charlie must go. All that shit, no. All Trinidadians needed to see. You know what started to build hope in this country? That candlelight movement. You know why? Because it was mummies and daddies and babies and toddlers and brothers and sisters and grannies and grandpas and people on wheelchairs and the truckers and the motorcyclists, and it was everybody. It was everybody together, and it was a spirit of love and togetherness, and we will put this right. That is what we build in. If anybody else building with you noise and raga, don't even share it with me. Don't share it with me. Don't come near me with raga. If you're fed up, I remember one of the nights, this jackass come and stand up and raise his voice and say, until we start a pelting. Brother, where you with your pelting thing? Where? That is not the solution. But I know for some people who they say, if the only tool you have is a hammer, you tend to treat every problem as a nail. I have a lot of tools in my toolkit, and one of them is the ability to get people to understand that there is a way forward beyond the nonsense we were taught. So, 10:25, it's been a long day, and yesterday the fellas give me lobster shells, and McCoys like lobster shells. So I put them in, but I put too much. I need to be a Philip, I want a breadfruit too. So this morning I wake up and the whole tank, and we have a 6-foot tank, cloudy. So before I even get to drink a cup of tea, I work in to empty the whole tank, because it smelled like the fish market. So I empty the whole tank. So I had to put the lobster shells in the sun to dry. So, but because I don't know, there's demolished lobster shells. So I put them in the sun to dry, and then I had to take everybody out, all of the fish. We have a lot of fish. And 2 of the fish is 2 big sharks in that tank. They get big, and they're bigger than the net. So trying to get them out is therapy, boy. And we have one of the 2 sharks, he's the big shark. We call him Sharky. Fergal Sharky is his name. And it was a pressure with him this morning. But so the whole day I was busy, and I didn't get to take no nap. It's been a very busy day, and I am happy that we had a good video. We had 2 good videos today. When I would turn back up by Trinity Mall, well, you all saw where I was driving, and when I reached by that intersection there, that kind of X intersection pavilion thing, I don't know if it was Digicel or B-Mobile Network I was on, but there's an obvious dead spot, and it was trying to reconnect. If you drive through a dead zone, trying to reconnect, it'll reconnect. But I end up behind cars at a traffic light in that dead zone. So I was hoping that the traffic light would turn green for us to be able to drive away without the video falling, but it didn't happen. So I apologize. But we got all the messages out, everything I wanted to say. Our video is making some numbers. I don't call about the name. There are a lot of people who are stepping up to the conversation. What the government did yesterday with the construction, that's dictatorship. If you wanted to know what's dictatorship, dictatorship is the government dictating that outside Chinese companies and Chinese workers have preference over Trinidadian workers. Somebody asked a question today, how is it different, Chinese workers versus local workers where COVID is concerned? How is it different, private contractors, government contractors? How is it different? Bullshit. So all bullshit. All the government contracts is 50 and 100 people on a job site. All them small contractors is 5 and 10 people on a job site. Bullshit. You're on bullshit. You're on pure bullshit, Keith Rowley. And our people need to eat. Our people need to eat. And you're forcing them. You're forcing them to get angry. You're forcing them to get angry. Don't do that. They didn't elect you to office for that. They didn't elect you to office to abuse them. Don't do that. Yeah? Yeah, but it's been a long day. Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago is not a political party. It's not. But it's a way to influence how government and politics is done. I want you to understand again the numbers that it takes. And you see, if under this umbrella, we could unite red, white, black, green, and every shade in between, African, Indian, Syrian, Chinese, white, you name it, all of it together, high class, low class, big money, no money, catch ass, every religion, every type of people who have no religion, people who, I mean, I tell people, I don't care who you're praying to, I don't care who you're lying down with in the night, that's not my business. We're just joining up as citizens who want a better country for everybody. Everybody want the same things, you know. They want to work, They want a work that maximizes their potential and gives them enough money that they can provide for their family. Whatever that family looks like, it's not your concern. You provide for yours. And everybody want to be able to like themselves. That's a chinny thing. We like to like ourselves, stop and drink a beer, talk a shit, take a line. That is us. How did we lose that? How did we lose that to what's his man name? Xi Jinping, whatever. To him and Maduro? Why did we have to sacrifice our country to their bullshit? Why? Keith Rowley is a curse on this land. He's a blight on this land. Keith Rowley and Coleman Bird. Donna Cox is so disgusted. Her tongue should rot and fall out her head for calling needy people greedy, boy. And you sitting down in a government that have Faris Al-Rawi. I drive past that building on the corner of Alexandra and Chagrin Road today. And I watch and I think, now who's fattening himself off rent? He gets so fat off a rent, he had to go and staple his stomach to lose weight. They eat money, boy. They get 10, 11 years of rent for a building nobody use. And talking about greedy. You're sitting down in a cabinet of greedy men and women. We still don't know where Camille Robinson Regis get the brown paper bag with the $143,000 in it. We don't know where it come from still. Still I know. But we still don't know what those people were burying. We get an investigation will be done. How long does the investigation take? People was dumping what looked like bodies on the side of the road. Camille had a bag of money. One bank say, we can't take it. She says she get it from her next bank. That bank say, you're talking shit. We ain't getting no bag of money. And we never pursue it. Al-Tight Pants tell us it's okay. So it's okay. Because it's okay for his children to go and shoot high-powered weapons because he in office. And they could doctor it and say, in case they get kidnapped. Shit that all of us call on all yourself. Everybody grow up nice, eating nice, traveling the world while the rest of the country locked down. No problem. No problem. But God don't sleep, and you're a descendant of the prophet, so you're supposed to know that firsthand. You're supposed to get that over the dinner table. The family who descend from the prophet too. Peace be on him, upon him. You are the one, brother. You are the one that have this karma to answer for now. And people like you who have the opportunity. You see, plenty of people don't believe in God. And everybody have their own view, and you're right to the view that you have. But I live long enough to see some things that don't make sense. So I don't want to say that I have the perfect answer to everything. Yes, I agree that science works. I work science and I work with science. But there are things beyond science, and there are things that science doesn't understand. And scientists tell you that. Scientists says there are things we don't understand. Our minds are incapable of grasping all and incapable of grasping none. We are incapable of grasping always. We're incapable of grasping never. The real thoughts that those are. And we believe that we live in a world that there was nothing, and then all of a sudden, bang, there was everything. And okay. And then it evolved, and then it cooled, and then it calmed, and it collected, and then the sea washed up on the land and grew legs and breathed air and gave us dinosaurs that died and gave us oil. And then the Arabs came and bought Mercedes Benzes. That was from a show called Airplane. That was very funny a long time ago. But the truth of the matter, if we choose to want it, anyway, let that go. Going forward, if you're not yet a member of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, please join. Please join tonight. Please go to citizensuniontt.org or citizensuniontt.com right now and join. And if you're in a position to help us financially, because we will need money to clear those food containers, and we will need money to pay legal fees to represent the truckers, and we will need money for all of these things, and we need money. And once you're a financial contributing member, Felicia Holler, who's our financial controller, she makes all of our accounts available to you upon request. She is unimpeachable in her responsibilities. And even though people have come along and took took advantage of a good heart and thief we ham slicer, borrow $4,000 and never pay back, take we bread rack and never bring it back from our hops protest. No problem. I hope it's serving you well. But she's learned. And you have to get tough sometimes. You have to have an iron fist and a velvet glove. And she has a good heart, but she's learned now that not every skin teaches a smile. So she's a little more circumspect with who she trusts. And also, so am I and Satish and Sean, because we are the ones ultimately have to make decisions if to let people have and borrow and, well, when they take advantage of your good heart. You can't let it spoil you, though. You can't let it sour you, and that's the thing. You can't let one person's wrongdoing and double dealing make it hard for you to be a good person to the next person coming along. Peter shouldn't pay for Paul. That's a bullshit statement. Anyway, if you're not yet a member, please join. If you're in a financial position where you could help, there are people who pray for me, who call me and tell me after they watch my video, God call you to do what you're doing. God bless you. Thank you for your voice. Thank you for your courage. I want to ask you, if you believe those things, even if it's $100, call Felicia, 769-4590. Satish, there was something else I was supposed to remember to say at the end of the video. We, and I can't remember what it was. Like and click follow so that you get notification. All of these videos, what they do is they limit our distribution of the video now because of whatever machinations going on behind the scenes. So if you could share the videos, please, I'd appreciate it greatly. Share it. Those of you who come on the rerun still as you get in, share it. Click like on the actual page. Click follow so you get notifications as best as possible. Satish does his best to create an event for the live videos, and I put it in the WhatsApp broadcast, and he put it in the WhatsApp groups. And between the WhatsApp broadcast and the WhatsApp groups, we have about 10,000 people that get a notification. And if each of those people tell 10 people, that's 100,000 people. That's a massive movement of information in quick time. And that's the idea. We're on Rumble, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. And if they lock all of that down, we'll be back on the corner. We're committed to this course of action. Some days are exhausting, some days are tiring. Other days, we feel like we're made for this, assembled for this, called to do this, set apart to be this. So we do it every single day. We need your help. We've never been able to do this on our own. None of us have ever. You never hear us talk about I. It's always we. We don't take for granted all of the support and all of the help that we've gotten over the years. We don't take for granted the family that we've built. We don't take for granted the support system that we are to each other. We take none of that for granted. Our successes, when we write the book, it's something to look back on with pride. That you didn't have to sacrifice your integrity, your ethics, or your self-respect to do what you set out to do. We could do this. We could fix this. We could make this. I tell you, we could kick all of them out of the island who don't belong on the island. All of them who taking advantage of the people's good hearts. We could change that for a while. We need to fix Trinidad and Tobago for Trinbagonians first. Don't get me wrong, eh? Singapore is quarter the size of Trinidad and Tobago and have a population of about 5 million people. So that means Trinidad's population could be 10 million, 15 million people. We could do it properly. But you can't have 15 million unemployed people. We have 1.4 million, half of them underemployed right now. So before you grow the population, you have to grow the economy, or you have to grow these things in harmony, in some sort of synergy with a plan, so that you know that all the things that you need, when you grow from 1.4 million to 2 million, you need a certain amount more school places and a certain amount more beds in hospitals, flatten the curve. You have to add new beds. You have to add new to the system and all of this. I mean, it's sensible, it's common sense, and you all know that. When you hear me say it, you say, yeah, I know that. I know that in my head long time. He's just saying what I know. So the truth of the matter is, for what we're trying to grow as the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, to give you as an individual the power of the collective requires you to join. And it requires you to help us and to support us. And to Denise Xavier, who responded immediately when I said, Denise, we're making a call for food. She said, I've done stuff in a barrel already. That's the kind of members we have. That's the those are the pillars that this temple built on. And that's why, come what may, hell or high water, we're still here, fighting for a better country, using hope and all of the good things, telling you that we don't have to throw aside what makes us good people. It doesn't have to be madness. It don't have to be badness. We don't have to be violent. We just need to be together. We need to start loving one another and caring for each other again. That's the way forward. We have too much hate in this little country, and that needs to go. And that's why when Inchan Ishmael coined the term, the Andrea effect, I've never let that go. And Andrea Barrett has made it possible to heal all manner. David Welch and Trini Trio, I am so proud to call that young man my friend now. He's my friend. And I've always thought, we were on other sides, we were on combatants, but I always thought he was so capable and had so much promise. I don't fight with fools, you know. If I fight with you, you have potential. And I think that David Welch has a lot of potential, and I was very proud of his strength of character. And I want to tell him that. So if you see David Welch, tell him I said he's a good soul. He's a good soul. Inchan Ishmael coined that term, the Andrea effect, and it made it possible for all of us to break down all of the walls that separated us. And that space now is a heady space because there are so many good people in it together for the first time that are joining hands and putting minds to the problem. And that could only be a good thing. Now, I want to say to you, we could say ignore the PNM supporters, ignore the UNC supporters, and go for the people who don't vote. But that's a foolish thing, because the PNM supporters, this is their country too, and the UNC supporters, this is their country too. And in a perfect world, we would get PNM supporters to want for UNC supporters what they want for themselves. And we would get UNC supporters to want for PNM supporters what they want for themselves. And if everybody wanted for everybody else to have a better country, that's what we will have. But what we have is a big, long-running political, bacchanal, racist combat fueled by nonsense. Dirty money, corruption money, cocaine money, and some knuckle draggers willing to sell their soul to talk shit for a living. I don't want that to be my legacy. I want to believe that we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we are religious. We are family people. We are committed to so many good things. There are so many good things about all of us that we could put aside the bad things. We could what they say, accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative. We could bring our best selves to the conversation. We could join hands and work together. We could work together. When I was part of that candlelight movement with Avanel and Candice and Felicia and Sean and Satish and Inchan and Joseph and Paul Nahus and Ian for a while, and it was always a feeling of camaraderie that we were doing this for a perfect good and a better cause. And I felt that if there's something to give your life to, what better than that? What better than that? Each of us have the ability to plant a garden of peace and hope around us and share from our garden with everybody. Imagine the country when everybody's gardens start to overlap and we become a nation of one people under one flag that they can't divide again. Imagine how beautiful that would. And Jody, my little sister Jody, sorry for forgetting you, Jody. That my little sister have a big mouth, so she'll remember the buff man. Yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot for tonight. Thanks a lot for to all of you who were here. We're going to follow up on a lot of those stories as you heard earlier. And if you're having a problem that is something that at my level need intervention, send me a WhatsApp. But you know also, don't send me the thing before you talk to the police. Don't send me the thing before you talk to your MP. Don't send me the thing before you go to try. You have to try. Don't just rock it on me because it's a problem. You know, you too have to step up and stand up. Again, before I go, share the video, like and follow on the page. If you are not yet, we have two things. We have WhatsApp groups, and at the head of this video on Facebook, there's some information there that tells you how to get in the WhatsApp groups. But there's a WhatsApp broadcast. That's not a group. It's just a broadcast to thousands of people, and it is my broadcast. It comes directly from me. I alone share to it. And if you want to be on that broadcast, please listen carefully. Send me a WhatsApp to WhatsApp, not a text, a WhatsApp to WhatsApp, only with your name. Don't include hello. Don't write the word name, colon. Don't write anything else but your name. Don't send one name. If your name is Shirley, I want to promise you, Shirley, we are at about 10,000 people now, so we have some Shirleys. So if I try to save your name as Shirley, it'll cause me a problem when it's time to add you. So please, send me your first and last name. Nobody else have access to this information but me. So if you trust me, send it to me. Send it only your name. First name and last name. Send me that. There are people who ask if they could use an alias. Yes, pick an alias that if you send me that as your alias, I could save that as your name and not get 3 more when it's time to add you to one of the threads. Do not add anything else. Don't tell me how good a job I'm doing, how nice my hair looking these days. None of that. None of that. None. Just your name. This one part of the conversation requires that I can easily copy your name, create a new contact for you with that name, and then it's a clunky system, and then add it. That's 3 manual steps. If I have to type your name, I can't do it, and so we just have to ignore you. So if you would like to be on the WhatsApp broadcast, WhatsApp me to 682-2110, just your name. Okay? Those of you who are in a position to help support the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, please, tonight, reach out to Felicia Holder. Her number is 769-4590. Those of you who are in business and would like to be part of the business affiliate program, you can reach out to her as well. Reach out to Joseph Rich Paul, Hadassah Charles McLeod, and the rest of the team that are on the thread. You see them, and you know that they are in charge of that. Reach out to them. Going forward from here, we're going to try to do a video as much as possible every night or every day if it's possible. The nights that we miss, we try to make it up the next day. And that's it. That's what I have for now. So really and truly, let's work together to try and make Trinidad a better country. Tomorrow, we are going to send out globally requests for food. We're going to do the begging. We're going to beg the world for food so that we could serve our poor and our hungry. And if you would like to volunteer to be a part of that, reach out to any of the usual suspects, Satish Ramsaran, Felicia Holder, Hadassah Charles McLeod, Trini Mamu when you see him. And going forward from here,